Welcome back. Today we'll be playing another game of Cardfight Vanguard 0. We'll be playing some Oracle Think Tank ranked matches. Let's get loaded in and see what happens. Okay, looks like we'll be playing against a Kamui player. Okay, so I usually start my games off with riding into a Circle Magus if I have the chance to, because Circle allows me to check the top of my deck, and what this will let me do is it kind of lets me prepare for my next turn. You know, it lets me prepare for what I should have as my damage check, in theory. And this allows me to go ahead and start thinking about what I'm going to do in my next turn, and that'll allow me to start building this kind of pile up towards what I should be expecting in the end game. So obviously I left that up there because Circle requires you leave it up there. Generally speaking, if it's not a trigger and it's a good card like a PG or something, if I have a Dark Cat in hand, I'll go ahead and ride or call a Dark Cat to my back row, and then I can look at or grab that card that I looked at and put it into my hand, and then move on from there by having either the PG in hand or having, you know, that card, that grade 2 I needed or something that I can then call off of later. So we're going to start off with the Promised Daughter, no boost. Awesome, they didn't hit a trigger. We'll be able to hit here for 12. If we hit a trigger, we should be able to hit with Mocha. Awesome. Actually, Mocha's not going to be able to push through because that was a critical trigger, and they're going to go up by at least, by 15,000 power, not 10,000. So it leaves them outside of hit range, but I push them to 3 on my first attacking turn. And that's really important, because that means that I can tempo the rest of this game. And I can definitely slow down my damage progression, just hit them for 1 a turn, guaranteed. Maybe even 2 if I can push for it, but never take the extra risky play unless you know it's going to pay off, or it's a win or die kind of situation. Because if you can pull off the play, then go for it. Free damage is free damage. I mean, like, I'm an advocate for hitting in for the extra damage if you can. But I've played this game since release, and honestly, it's better to tempo the game out. It's better to make them come to you and hold them, you know, damage for damage, and then either burst in for 1 extra point or do whatever it takes to be the 1 point ahead, so that when your opponent goes for their counterattack and they push you to 5, you can then counterattack, you can hit them again, drop them to 6, win the game, and move on to your next match with a good feeling. So they're going to go ahead and swing in. So I'm going to hit a heal there, which is going to drop me back down to 2 damage instead of being pushed to 3. They hit a heal on their turn, which means that they're back at 2. We're trading. We're kind of trading trigger for trigger here. They have hit more triggers than me. But here's where Apollon really gets to shine. So we'll go ahead and call that Apollon down. We'll call ourselves a full field. And so we're going to have to come in and trade unit for unit here. You know, take out their grade 2s. And then we're not going to do that. We're going to swing in with Apollon at their 7k. Let's see, any triggers? Nope, no triggers. Awesome. That is an unfortunate thing, but it happens. And it happens often enough in this game that it's something that you have to be ready for. But we're going to go ahead and counterblast 2 and shove that trigger back in the deck. So that's what Apollon's really good at, is a lot of people that play Apollon are the people who are thinking, you know, trigger recycle. Because you can punch in with Apollon, and as long as he hits, you can counterblast 2. Which is a little hefty of a cost. It lets you draw 2 cards, and then you put one of your cards in your hand back in the deck. So, if you don't call a bunch of grade 3s, like usually I wouldn't have called the Omniscience Madonna, I would have left her in hand. But I needed to be able to punch in for at least 1 damage that turn. So, usually I would have left Omniscience in hand, drawn my 2 and put Omniscience back in since she's a heal. Really all I can hope now is I can maybe hit a Sakia, bounce everything to my hand, and then ride Apollon again. Not super likely. Only have 3 Sakias in the build. I do have 4 Apollons in the build, and we haven't damage checked one yet. I don't think one's... Yeah, we've got 2 in the drop zone. That means there's 1 left in the deck. You know, we're at 2 of our 5 heals. They're at 2 of 5 heals. We've kind of traded trigger for trigger at this point. Ride. So we're going to call this unit down in the front row. And then call this unit down over here. That is going to go to the bottom. So, starting our battle phase off, we're going to kill their Brutal Jack, who is going to be a pain. Anytime you see a Gold Rutile player who plays Brutal Jack and he gets Brutal Jack on the field, you go ahead and congratulate that guy, because he has gotten that good play. Brutal Jack is so powerful. He's normally powerful, and then if you add in having... There we go, we're looking for that stand. You know, you add in having that extra power because you can countercharge off Gold Rutile every time they punch you in the face with Brutal Jack. Like, that's why Nova's is a really good deck. Nova Grappler is an amazing deck right now. Gold Rutile is so game-changing. If you drop a Gold Rutile and you put a Toolkit Boy behind him, you are going to be able to hit in for so much more damage, because you'll be able to throw attacks at rear guards, kill the rear guard off, you know, restand that unit, punch back in at the vanguard again, and get some countercharge out of it. You'll have so many countercharges in a game. Had a game where I went on 18 countercharges on my 2nd or 3rd grade 3 ride, because I'd been able to countercharge and reuse it so fast, so quickly, able to get all of that resource management nice and rolling, and it led to a victory. I mean, the game rolled into a victory because I was able to countercharge, and my opponent playing Kaguro could not countercharge, which is a very unfortunate thing. I don't think it's very fair right now. The game isn't balanced, so to speak, because some decks just don't have the opportunity to countercharge at all. Or if they do have a countercharge option, it is one of those you have to kind of bend over backwards to run this alternate countercharge unit. Like, Kagura right now has got a leaf. A leaf allows them to countercharge, but a leaf also requires that you run bar, which most decks do for Kagura anyways. He's an 8k hitter, and that's good math right now. Looks like they've got us pushed to 5. Our first Sentinel's going to go down. Looks like they might pull this game through. Oh, no. Nope, because they can't hit my Vanguard because of that 5k boost that you get off of every time they attack. And I hit a trigger. Got rid of my 4th Apollon, though. So we're going to call down kind of a last-ditch kind of field. Win or die kind of thing. We are hoping for a trigger on this Apollon swing. There we go. Hit a heal. Maybe we'll get a second one. Nope. Okay. So, unfortunately, we're not going to hit with our Silent Tom this turn because Tom can only hit 14 right now. But we are going to take care of their gold and hope that that heal will carry us into a victory on our next turn. Sit here waiting on their calls. They've got a cure. Ooh, that is very unfortunate. That makes one of their PGs out of the way. We've only lost one PG ourselves. I think right here they're hoping to hit a trigger and get a restand. Which, I mean, that's where I am too. They do hit a trigger, which means they are going to get that restand. As long as they don't hit a crit, we will be perfectly fine. We'll be in a amazing spot. So we're going to take this hit, and then we'll be able to PG whatever they swing at us with. So they're going to put the power there, restand it with Azura. So we're going to go ahead and take that damage. Let's see what we get for our damage check. Oh, my opponent has been disconnected. Not good. It's taking it a minute. I do not know what's going on with their connection, but there we go. What did we take as our damage? Okay, log. What happened? Huh. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can't push in. We drew a PG off that. Not quite sure what happened, but we'll see. We're still hoping to hit that trigger for our damage, or for our drive check. They hit a heal again. Oh, wow. That is 2 turns in a row now that we've hit a heal trigger on our drive checks. Which is very unfortunate for our opponent. Oh, and he's going to go hit another heal. He should be out now. Yep. We only have 1 heal left in the deck. Not going to get it there on the draw. So we're going to put the circle back. Draw another card. And I guess pass the turn back over. See what goes on with it next. Hopefully I can end this matchup. I did not realize that my phone was that close to dead. And I hope to finish this matchup really fast, but the rate it's going, it looks like it's going to take until tomorrow. Hit another heal as our first damage check, going up to 20,000. They're going to hit a stand. Wow, see, triggers today have been absurd. I mean, truly absurd. This guy's running 7 draw, 4 heal, that puts him at 8. 13 triggers, right? No, sorry. 11 triggers. But, we're going to end up at 30,000 at the end of that due to double trigger checking. So we're going to call our Dark Cat down. See what it gives us. Ah, it gives us a red eye. That should let us push in for some decent damage. We're going to go ahead and kill this Death Army guy because he's going to be a pain. And we'll start off by swinging 15 at their 11k. That's a hit. Not going to invoke her ability. We're going to swing in for 17. Hit by 1k. Even without a trigger. No trigger. That's a sad day to see that that PG hit the bottom. There's only 6 cards left in our deck. We're looking at 1 stand trigger left. So if they can call a field down, we lose. And this does not look good. They're coming in with an Azura, Brutal Jack, and a Gold Rutile on their front row. It's just, this is not going to be a good day for us. I'm going to take out our 2 grade 2s, punch in with Azura. We're going to PG Azura, and of course they hit a trigger. The one time I need them not to. That, however, is going to be every trigger in their deck now. So the good news, they're out of triggers. The bad news, we are still taking 1 more attack this turn. Which means we are likely to die. Because we are out of heals, so we are dead. No matter what. And that's a good game right there. Well, he did good, we did good. He just did a little bit better. Azura pulling through for the clincher.